it's it's time to go a bit old school. Old school because well, I haven't enjoyed this guy in a while. Recently got the remakes, except I don't have what is it? Friggin' the remake for Crash Team Racing, Nitro Field. I only have currently Insane Trilogy and also Crash 4 because I definitely wanted to also check that out. I'm glad that Crash came back only because I freaking played the originals on PS1 growing up so much. I played the original, Crash 2, and Crash 3. Only rarely did I ever see Crash Team Racing growing up. But I'm excited because I haven't freaking enjoyed something like this in a while. And, you know, would rather enjoy this than,
It's Crash Bandicoot!
than freaking, what? I'm trying not to. Hopefully that helps. Specifically, I love these games growing up, and when I saw them come back, I was pumped, and I was just young enough to also see those, like, old Crash Bandicoot commercials, where he's just showing up all, hey, little boy, mustache man, your worst nightmare has arrived. I didn't even play much yet, so screw it.
But, Dr. Cortex, we haven't determined the cause of past failures.
Moron! This Bandicoot will be my general. He will lead my Cortex commandos to world domination. This time, I shall reign triumphant.
GMO
You're
and
closer than ever before.
a bunch of
Quickly,
animals.
into the vortex.
So messed up.
Dr. Cortex, the vortex is not ready. We have no idea what it could do.
Failure again. Capture him.
Uh-oh.
Prepare the female Bandicoot.
Man, Naughty Dog used to be so damn good. Not so much anymore, sadly. If only because it's freaky how it got taken over by a guy deciding to basically make it the Last of Us sequel a weird, like, pornographic situation. I mean, at least it damn sure was weird and pornographic in the likes of the new one. for the character that used to be a preteen. Hardcore yikes. Just saying. There we go. It is just it's badass, the work that they did put in. And this came from Vicarious Visions, the guys who made the two really good handheld Crash Bandicoot games that definitely I feel like people deserve to give more attention to. And man, I gotta say, personally speaking, after Wrath of Cortex, I'd say was when I didn't really care as much about the series anymore. Because after Wrath of Cortex, the next Crash game I saw at that time was either Mind Over Mutant or Crash of Titans. It was one of those, and it just was terrible. I thought, just flat out, just terrible. So for Crash to have finally come back this way is, well, awesome, honestly. And if anything, it's only a bit of a bummer that he's not the PlayStation mascot anymore, the way he used to be. Because if he was, I'd probably end up personally flaunting it quite a bit still. Because I also still really loved Jak and Daxter after Crash Bandicoot. I mean, Jak and Daxter was quite a unique concept as it went along. To where I'm bummed that Jak and Daxter didn't get anything worthwhile after Jak X. Because I don't hear good things about The Lost Frontier. That game just, I've heard nothing but terrible things about. It's kind of more of a bummer though that we don't get to have stuff like some more remakes, only because some of them would be amazing to see happen. For example, I'm someone who grew up on Tak and the Power G, the THQ franchise that is also basically a Nickelodeon franchise. Like, those games were actually really good. It was sadly more about what did I say? It was more about show when that came out was just god awful. So god awful that I lost interest. And it's as if they don't really want to do anything worthwhile with it. And this is funny only because I really wished that they did do Attack remake. Because also the SpongeBob Malcolm Team bottom is nice to obtain. Would be kind of cool if they would actually do a remake for the movie game too, just because it was the spiritual successor and was still a very fun game. So for them to not is kind of a bummer, if I'm being honest. It really is a gorgeous remake, but man, it's also kind of it throws you off when you've played the original for years and then you finally decide to give this a good shot, and it is good. It's great. The only thing that isn't so great is how the physics of the game is different. Because with the physics being so different, when you've played like the original PS1 game for years, and you go back to this, it throws you off so hardcore that it's super weird when it happens. It's still really fun though, and I will say this, the fact that the remake makes all three of the games have similar physics, it makes it a little easier to go from game to game, which by then makes it, I'd say, perfectly fine. It's just definitely, it'll throw you off if you are used to the original PS1 games. I mean, in my case, I beat Crash, which one was it? Crash Rocket, the third game, on my PSP. And that was such a fun game. I can see why most people prefer Crash 3, if only because it really did do a lot to make the gameplay of the original Crash Bandicoot game feel even better. He literally just fucking splat his face on the fucking ground there. Okay. Very, 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 very cute. Oh, man. restart that just because I am trying to do the 100% stuff. It's just definitely it's not easy with Crash. I tried so many times to do it on the PS1 original, and it was not easy. It was actively one of the most hard freaking game experiences I ever had in my life. Where's the 8 other boxes? I guess the boxes don't like you smashing Crash. Yeah. Whatever, though. Guess I'll, Dude, did you seriously pull that out of your ass? Just saying, Crash, that was kind of ridiculous, bro. Oh, man. They really did do a good job on making the game look better. Let's do this guy. do that for you. They did a good job also redoing the soundtrack for this. Overall, I'm still very happy with what they did pull off here. It's just only a bummer that it's owned by Activision, mainly because Activision is not very trustworthy. Part of why I'm not really caring to check out the Crash Nitro Kart or Nitro Fueled is mainly because it's full of microtransactions. By then, I'd much rather just enjoy this stuff that ain't freaking demanding me to pay up to avoid playing the damn game. By then, makes it sound like you guys didn't give a shit for me to play it. Bottom line. So, really better that I enjoy it this way. Enjoy these games instead, I guess. I mean, I'll say this, I've heard good things about Crash 4 at least. And also, it is cool that the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remake is actually pretty decent in the first place and not full of microtransactions. It's the sequel I'm a little worried about. But hey, who knows, maybe they freaking are going to eventually learn to stop that BS. And at the very same time, seems like indie devs just treat people better nowadays. And if anything, the majority of these developers who are actually putting in a lot of genuine work, they should just at this point freaking give the middle finger to the industry and just freaking go and do stuff indie instead. Because damn sure that would be your best bet, I think, in it not just being absolute garbage. And it actually having quality worthwhile. Because if anything, I could imagine a lot of these devs probably would get treated better. I imagine the people at EA would get treated better if they decided to just give their company the finger and finally just go off and do their own thing. And same with the people working under Activision. Same with the people working under even some of the major companies, because I'm even still nervous about modern Nintendo. For as much as they're easily the better of the companies, that's like the main platforms. If only because they don't try to do the microtransaction crap with their actual paid-for games. However, stuff like Amiibo, I honestly never liked from those guys. And if anything, I still am probably never going amiibo myself, personally. Instead, even a bit weirded out by the whole freaking them making Link all sexually feminine in Breath of the Wild. Like, I'm sorry, that's not a joke. That is flat out a sexual thing there. They turned Link into a homosexual who cross-dresses to seduce men. That's just inappropriate. That's very much not okay for kids, bottom line. And it's more ridiculous too that the game was rated E10 with that name. When Zelda had a fucking T for Teen game in the past with Twilight Princess. And that game is more kid-friendly than the likes of Breath of the Wild with the freaking whole cross-dressing crap. It's just... It flat out was sexual garbage being pushed in front of kids, and that's where Nintendo should be ashamed of themselves for that, bottom line, if you ask me. Does that mean that consenting adults can't make their own decisions? No, they can freaking make their own damn decisions, but damn sure kids need to be left the fuck alone finally. Because I'm fucking sick of how much kids have been targeted so damn hardcore. And it's a huge part of why I'm I'm disgusted at a lot of these major companies that are doing this to kids, that are targeting kids this way. Disney's doing it, Nickelodeon's done it, freaking Turner Broadcast, freaking, it goes on. There's so many companies that we used to actually trust to do stuff for kids. We damn sure used to trust Disney a lot more than we do now. And that blows my mind. Hell, it blows my mind that Blue's Clues came back and did a fucking Pride Parade sing-along hosted by a drag queen. That's supposed to be Blue's Clues for toddlers. Bottom line. Like, they're flat-out creepers doing that. Bottom line, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're being creepers doing that. And in the end, man, in the end, kids, they're being targeted so hardcore that it is very, very disturbing in this modern day and age. Bottom line, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's disturbing. Consenting adults can make their own decisions. But children, you're flat out being a creeper targeting kids like that. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you want to be a consenting adult making your own decision on being this way or that way or the other, fine. But I'm disappointed when I look back at stuff that I grew up on, that I used to think of more innocently. I guess I could say that with Crash Bandicoot, considering the fact that literally he fucking pulled it out of his ass there, the gem, which was pretty hardcore ridiculous there, bro. It's ridiculous how much you can look back at something that you used to think was totally kid-friendly and see it not be so kid-friendly. Like Ed, Edd n Eddy, I used to love so much when I was a kid, and I can still enjoy it, but I don't think it should be for kids. When I'm looking back at it, seeing the sexual jokes and all that, I can't find just no big deal. It's even ridiculous, like Avatar: The Last Airbender, with its sequel show, Legend of Korra. She freaking, at the end, suddenly out of nowhere becomes a lesbian and is sucking face with this one character out of freaking nowhere just because fans drew porn, let's be freaking real, about them online. And they're like, sold! And if anything, that also says, are you guys trying to make bad decisions purposefully? I mean, just saying. And man, like I it's so ridiculous. I feel like how much they are using kids as an excuse to censor in general when they're clearly things that aren't for kids or whatever. Or it's just as simple as, oh, a character wearing a suggestive outfit. And they use kids as the excuse to try and censor like they are in Sonic lately. Meanwhile, they're still gonna also be going around freaking pushing these sexual romances towards kids. I mean, apparently freaking X-Men has Wolverine, Jean Grey, and Cyclops all having a three-way relationship in the current version of X-Men. And I'm sorry, but freaking Disney should be ashamed of themselves for how Stan Lee was treated before he died. That guy inspired me, honestly, because I wanted to also make a superhero character of my own, and to have seen just how hardcore they abused him and how his last freaking public words was, "I just want to go home and die." Disney should be ashamed of themselves for that. Part of me honestly wants to freaking punch the person who did that to him. general, it breaks my heart when I do see some stuff that had far more pure, intentions, pure ideas about them. That they were actually making this stuff for kids, and they weren't trying to just sexualize kids. And I used to really love Marvel too, but I just can't love Marvel the way I used to. Like, I can like the older stuff from when Stan Lee was around and he was actually making sure the franchise was being treated right. And it used to be so much better, I feel like. Hell, I'm even looking back at some the older Marvel movies, and the ones that people seem to have ripped to hell and back. Like the first Punisher movie with I also like the game. So that as I was saying, I liked the game for Tom Shane's Punisher. It was a good game overall. Well executed, and I'd say. And definitely, I think we have a lot of like better, older versions of certain characters. Damn sure, I don't think Tobey Maguire ever needs to be replaced. Spider-Man 3, it wasn't perfect, no, but I never thought it was nearly as bad as people made it out to be. Because if anything, I thought Sam Raimi did a good job with something that he did because, let's be real, he was forced to. And for what he did, having been forced to do it, he did alright. If anything, I feel like people were a little bit harsh towards him. And damn sure I mean, I at least dug No Way Home, but that was mostly from the fact that I had like a bunch of my favorite Spider-Man movies coming back, kind of. Just like Disney somehow killed off the franchise Marvel, which is not nothing. Let's be real, because that wasn't them killing off just nothing. they killed off one of the biggest franchises in history. Let's be real. And same with Star Wars, same with Indiana Jones even. Like, it's mind-blowing that they pulled that off. Let's be real. Because, in the end, they were much better off without Disney. And definitely, if anything, boy, do I wish that freaking Marvel could somehow get out of Disney's hands and actually be used by people who freaking give a shit about, honestly, what I always thought was a more positive influence on kids growing up. Because I was one of those kids that, like, when I experienced the story of Spider-Man, I took it to heart, hearing people say, with great power comes great responsibility. Because that was a hardcore story. Seeing that guy lose his loving uncle, all because he didn't take him seriously when he told him to really listen to him about with great power comes great responsibility. And damn sure that ain't what Disney is focused on. Let's be real here. What Disney is focused on is just sexualizing shit as much as possible now. Which is ridiculousness to the absolute maximum. Because, I mean, seriously, the whole hardcore sexualization of these superheroes is just terrible, because what kids needed them for is positive examples in this world. However, I'll say this as a Christian, though, too, that damn sure we shouldn't be freaking worshiping them over Christ or God. That being said, I wanna do something someday that would actually help bring people to Christ and be a franchise like that, a superhero kind of franchise that would actually bring people to Christ and also be an engaging story in the first place too. Because what people don't realize with the likes of fiction as a whole is so much of it, whether people realize it or not, fiction deep down has all these references to the biblical truth. And it ends up making all types of fictional stories still very engaging when you actually open your eyes to how literally biblical themes can be practically everywhere before your very eyes. Like, no joke. Because I've seen biblical themes in all kinds of fictional stories. And so much of it is is from all different types of franchises. And granted, a lot are very much, yes, video game storylines. For sure, Final Fantasy. People may not realize it, but it is actually really biblical. And it is mind-blowing when you actually sit in front of the story, and you really do look it over from a biblical standpoint. It is mind-blowing how many things you can actually break down that way, and it ends up making it just beyond investing in ways that you could have thought before. Because I used to be in the New Age, and the New Age made me think that every religion was somehow right all at the same time. But no. No. There is only one God. And he gave his son on the cross for all of our sins. And I will forever be grateful to Jesus Christ for what he did. For him especially reaching out to me. Because he reached out to me in a dream directly. More than once. And he is the Messiah we all needed all along. For just how loving and selfless he is to all of us. That alone is one of the biggest reasons why he is our Messiah. For the selfless, loving soul to him that we have to look up to embrace. And I'm glad that I found it out before it was too late, because it seems like the end times are going to come, and I personally don't want to be in hell, all because I was selfish, egotistical, because I refused to self-reflect like I needed to all along. Because bottom line, far too many people are just too afraid to self-reflect and really, really realize where they have messed up. Because we've all messed up in many ways. And us learning from our mistakes is one of the many ways we grow through life. It is why I'm beyond glad that I got saved. That I am not just unaware of Jesus being literal history. That I am unaware of the Old Testament being literal history. And I'm only praying for all my friends and family and acquaintances that they all accept Jesus, because because I want as many souls saved. Because I feel like I have this desire to want to save lives for a reason. And it felt like it was always something that I got from just how much I appreciated superheroes and the good example that they were to kids. And I know this. Satan doesn't deserve any of these souls that he has claimed in hell. All because he was a selfish, egotistical pile of garbage. And always will be. And it's only a shame because he threw away the love of our Heavenly Father, who genuinely does love and care for each and every one of us. And if you, whoever would be listening to this, if you haven't accepted Jesus in your life yet, then I pray you do, because it can do so much to help you. It's not even funny. I wish I hadn't known sooner, if only because I wished I had put my focus on fixing my life a lot sooner. Because I really do want to also serve God with this idea of a business that I would do to help bring about people's ideal homesteads that would protect them for when things ever do really go bad.